Hello, yes, and welcome to another edition of the Rams Writer podcast with me, your host Simon, aka the Rams Writer. Remember, this is the podcast from the fan for the fans. So, what have we got to talk about today? Obviously, the international break is well and truly upon us, so no game for the Rams this week. Quick shout out to my sponsor, WB Power Services, generator specialist for your generator needs. So, let's go. What are we going to talk about today? So today then, it's just a bit of a rundown of this week, the sort of stories we've seen, so first, obviously Richard Keogh has officially formed an appeal against the Rams for unfair dismissal, I believe it is. We've also got our under-23s are in action, and they won 7-1 against Leeds United, and I'll discuss that in brief, particularly one player. I think we all know who, if you've seen Facebook and Twitter over the last few days. Luciano Acosta, possibly a transfer target for the Rams. Shay maybe going to Chelsea to be the coach there. And I think that covers everything. And I might touch a little bit up on Sheffield Wednesday being investigated by the AFL due to dubious transactions. So, it's quite common. So yeah, I can't really say much about the Richard Keogh appeal. I think we all know it was going to happen. It was always in the pipeline. What more can you really say? At the end of the day, it's not really a legal battle, I suppose, at the moment. It is just simply the fact that he is appealing against the club for unfair dismissal because he believes he's been dismissed unfairly, I suppose, for his partaking in the incident involving Mason Bennett and Tom Lawrence and drunk driving. So, and it's still, I guess, one of them that's a bit, is it fair? Was it fair to dismiss him? Was it unfair to dismiss him? In my opinion, I guess for me it is fair. Reason being, he does have a responsibility as captain. And as I've said before, being a captain brings with it a lot of responsibility, and that goes to include when you're on the pitch, when you're off the pitch. So you've got a responsibility as captain to do that. And he wasn't, his misjudgment, at the end of the day, he's got into the back of a car with a drunk driver. We can only assume he knew he was drunk, and then obviously they've crashed. He's not wearing a seatbelt, potentially that cause injury, so, and I'm not going to go into rumours that are flying around. We've all seen them, I don't really want to discuss them just because they're rumours. They could be true, but I don't want to falsify anything because it's not right. It's not fair. It's defamation of character. You can't do that. So I'm not going to go into them. But like I said, I think it's fair we sacked him. I know some of you guys will disagree with me. And should we have sacked Tom Lawrence, Mason Bennett as well? Again, it's a tough one. But you see players have been done for drink driving. It's not like this is the first occurrence, but those players have kept their jobs. And I guess in our walk of life, we would probably, the majority of us perhaps would suffer that fate. We would lose our jobs because we get done for drink driving. Perhaps not. There is people that have been done for drink driving and have not been sacked. At the end of the day, I guess, Mel Morris said something along the lines of, he's sort of given a bit of an answer of why he was sacked. And for me, he's basically sort of said, is it a punishment if I sort of say there's no drinking at all, someone wants out of their contract, so they drink, get leathered and whatnot, and then they go and sign for, he said Leeds, so he said that we release him from the contract, he goes to sign for Leeds, a double the wage and a big hefty signing on fee. Is that fair? Is that then punishment? No, not really. What Mason Bennett and Tom Lawrence have had to do is face up to the fans. And in fairness, I've got to give Tom Lawrence a lot of credit because he has faced up to the fans and he's performing. there's no denying that his performances have improved since the incident, and we're starting to see a consistent Tom Lawrence now. And again, that isn't, you know, this new formation we've tried for the last 2 games, the diamond. You know, I thought he was effective against Forest until we sort of changed formation and put him on the left again. You know, he was obviously very effective against Middlesbrough. You know, scored 2 goals. So it's definitely worked, I guess. You know, but he's had to face it. You know, a lot of fans gave him a load of stick. You know, gave him a load, you know, our fans, you know, booing him and such not and whatnot. You know, look at the Forest fans on, you know, the Saturday. Tom Lawrence should be in jail. You know, he's got to face that, and he's got to face that everywhere he goes. That for me is a punishment, because you've got to do your job, knowing that other fans of other clubs, as well as your own, are in the feeling that you shouldn't be there. You know, and Mason Bennett we've not really seen since. He's been in the under-23s. You know, so again, he's been dropped from the first team, I suppose. So with Richard Keogh, there's no way if we kept him on for another 12 months, etc., or till his contract ran out, there's no way he would leave. You know, that he's really going to get a pay rise because of obviously the injury. You know, it's a bad injury for one. Possibly his age as well. There's no way he's going to sort of get the same wages on now. No, that's 25k a week reportedly, 25 to 29k. So I understand where Mel Morris is coming from. You know, because at the end of the day, I guess, you know, Bennett and Lawrence are financial assets to the club, and they are. So he doesn't want to just chuck them out. So we'll see. But again, you know, there's an appeal going. We won't hear anything obviously till it's over. I'm not sure how long that's going to take. So, but obviously mentioning Mason Bennett and the under-23s, that brings me to, was it Tuesday night's game? Or was it Monday? I can't remember now. I watched it, but I can't remember what day it was. Regardless, the under-23s absolutely destroyed Leeds United 7-1 in the Cup. Now, 7-1 against Leeds United. Our academy showed how good they can be, how good they are. You know, I'm not going to, you know, say whatever. You know, but Leeds United, obviously, they're in a lower league than Derby, but still, it's easy to get complacent when you're playing a team from a lower league, and we didn't. And we've got to give a special mention to Louie Sibley, who bagged a hat-trick and was phenomenal the whole game. The whole game. You know, and he's just proven, the more times I see him, the more games I see him play, he's proven what a fantastic player he is. He's 18 years of age, sorry. I think, you know, he's got to be banging on Philip Cocu's door saying, when can I play? And the question is, though, where do you play him? You know, he's playing at a sort of 10 role for the under-23s. Obviously, Lawrence occupies that spot at the moment, if we're sticking to this diamond, that is. So can he fill in a bit deeper, you know, for Holmes, perhaps? You know, no disrespect to Holmes, I like him, he's a good player, but at the moment we're not seeing that good player. You know, we're seeing, you know, a bit of inconsistencies with him, a bit of lack of end product, perhaps, if you want to put a word on it. You know, it's a shame, because we know inside there is a top player in Dwayne Holmes. But for me, Sibley's definitely earned a call-up, even if it's on the bench. You know, we've got Preston coming up next week. For me, I'd be shocked if I didn't see him at least on the bench, because he's definitely, for me, he could be a top, you know, potentially he could be a top player. You know, the guy's 18, and, you know, it's not just what he possesses going forward. It's the fact that he's willing to track back, put in tackles. You know, he's not scared of a tackle. That's what you want from your midfield. He brings a bit of tenacity. He's not afraid to run at players. You know, he's a bit like, you know, he's passing as well, creativity, top notch. You know, running. I think I said, running at players as well. You know, he's strong as well. And obviously the question is though, there's a big step up. I've mentioned it before, but there's a big step up from the under 23s to the first team. Has he got that ability to step up? Can he deal it mentally as well? Because obviously we know what we can be like as fans. If you mess up a pass, we're like that. We can jump on people. So has he got the mentality? Because he's definitely got the ability. There's no doubting about that. He's got the ability to play first team football. No doubt about it. But has he got the mental ability to do that? And I think he could do. I think he can. Why he's not been picked yet, and we've seen the likes of Jason Knight picked over him, not sure. But yeah, no, I can't wait to see him running around Pride Park for the first team. He's such a talented boy, and we're lucky to have him. Like I said, I've got a conspiracy theory that we're trying to keep him out of the limelight until after the January transfer window, simply so no one can nick him off us. You know what I mean? So I know it's a bit daft, but you never know with football these days. Oh, my camera's a bit blurry. Sorry about that, YouTubers. That's dreadful. Let me just sort that out because I thought it was a bit minging. Wait there. That's better. Can see you all now. Well, you can see me now, I guess. Yeah, so Sibley then. Definitely for me, I hope to see him in the first team sooner rather than later. So next then, I guess. Next story then. So it's been published, I think, by The Athletic UK. I saw it from Tom Thurgood, who's I'm sure he's a journalist on Twitter. He sort of wrote an article, and then the Telegraph backed it up, and it comes from, I think it was Argentina, perhaps. That player who played with Wayne Rooney at DC United, Luciano Acosta, is a sort of attacking midfielder, has been told by Rooney to come to Derby, join him at Derby. Bear in mind these guys played each other with DC United. They work well with each other. I think he's got something like 138 appearances, 35 assists. I can't remember any goals, but he's bagged a few goals as well. Of course, what you can do is do what everyone else does on YouTube, is highlights. So that's an interesting one. The only thing I'm worrying about that is a work permit. Because he's Argentinian. Whether he'd qualify for a work permit due to the fact he's not actually played any football or got any international appearances for Argentina. So it's an interesting one. I'm not fully up to knowledge with how work permits, etc., work for foreign players. I don't know if you are. I think I read a few things on Twitter that says he's potentially not going to be eligible for a work permit, which is a shame really, because he does look a good player from what I've seen on YouTube. Unfortunately, I used to watch a bit of MLS on a Saturday on Sky Sports Mix. However, for whatever reason, DC United always seem to play like late at night or early in the morning. Never sort of really managed to catch a game of them, which is a shame, but never mind. So yeah, again, that's a potential player we could get, and it'd be a freebie because his contract runs out. He is interested in a move to Boca Juniors. There was an update today in the Telegraph. I think that came from the Athletic, saying that around sort of like on the lines of he's waiting for Boca's call, but he's also waiting for Derby's call. As of yet, Derby have not made any inquiries, etc. However, to say I'd be willing to go to Derby could just mean he's trying to force Boca Juniors' hand. You know, at the end of the day, he's Argentina, and you know, Boca Juniors obviously one of the top teams in Argentina. And he wants to play for them. Yeah, that's fair enough. But if you want, you know, the thing is, if Rooney can get a player to come to Derby, you know, you're going to listen to Wayne Rooney. The guy's played with him for the last year. He knows how good he is, and he knows the potential he's got. And perhaps getting him into English football would help him get into the Argentinian squad. You know, so who knows? So it could be a good acquisition. It could be that creative spark in midfield that we're missing, or that we've been missing. And again, playing with Wayne Rooney, who knows what could happen? You know, it's getting closer now. January is, you know, so we have got to strengthen definitely. You know, in fact, I'm actually, that brings me to, obviously you guys know I like to put out the questions and answers. There was a question regarding transfers. Let me just get it up for you. There it is. So G_legend on Twitter, his question was, if you had 20 million to spend in January, who would you buy? Now, I'm not the best at transfers and things like that. However, there's two players I definitely look to buy where I think we need to strengthen. And I know you'd be surprised at this because I do defend Kellaroos, but for me, I'd send Ben Hamer back, and I'd look to buy Joe Hart. You know, currently he's at Burnley, not getting any games. We know he's a good keeper. Personally, I think he's either going to push Kellaroos to get better, you know, and or you know, it would be. I think it'd be proper competition for that number one spot. You know, because let's be real here. You know, we all know Roos is a fantastic shot stopper. He is. There's no denying that. But yes, I've agreed, I've admitted this, yes, he does sometimes get lost with balls in the air, you know, crossing into the box. Something he needs to work on, you know. You can't fault him for many goals this season, if any, you know, but there has been times where you think, yeah, he needs to come and claim that. So for me, having someone like Joe Hart, an ex-England international, coming in and pushing you, can only make you a better keeper. And for me, I think, I was looking on the transfer market website, I don't know if you know it, but they value him on there at just over 3 million. So potentially maybe about 5 million, I think, you know, in real time. So not a bad buy if we had 20 million. And then another guy I was looking at was a guy from Ajax. I was hoping Cocu could use his Dutch connections. I know he's from PSV, but there's a 19-year-old centre-back called Per Shares, who basically, he was at Fortuna Sittard, and he was sort of brought in by Ajax to fill that void that De Ligt had left. Yet he's not really played that many games. I have seen him in a few, especially in their reserve team, which I do watch quite a bit, to be honest. And he does look a good player. And I think, you know, if Ajax aren't going to use him, can we persuade him to come to Derby, you know, and work under Cocky, work under a Dutch manager, you know, where he could get game time? Because let's be honest, Clark looks like he could be out for a while. Me personally, I don't want to see Bielik at centre back, simply because I think we lose that balance in midfield if we put Evans in there. You know, I think Bielik offers more going forward when he plays at that central midfielder, like defensive midfielder role. So if we're not going to, you know, we need to buy a centre back essentially in January, maybe two, because you know Davis is not a spring chicken anymore. You know, he's out of contract at the end of the season. You know, we've lost keogh. You know, Clark again, he's another one that'll be gone. We've got no centre backs, so we're going to have to start investing in some defenders. You know, currently, who would I put there at centre back with Davis? Me personally, if I put Fozzie. But if he's not up to it yet, if he still needs minutes and still needs time to recover from his injury, then for me it's Andre Wisdom. It's a no-brainer for me. You know, the guy, he's a natural centre back. You know, that's his favourite position, and we brought him in and put him at right back. You know, And we saw with this, when he first came in on loan and played right back, yeah, he was good. He got up and down the wings and stuff. But when he came under Rowett, he was very reluctant to do that. So I think centre back would suit him more. He's strong, he's powerful. And the thing is, he can run out from the back with the ball. So for me, I think Wisdom needs to go in there. I just don't want us to drop Bielik into the centre back role because we lose a bit of. It's a bit of a bit of attacking force. I think. He's not. Evans isn't as commanding, I guess, as Bielik is. So I think I'll be looking at putting Andre Wisdom at centre back. So yeah, that was transfers. Luciano Acosta. Oh yeah, that was your question, G. Yeah. So yeah, 20 million spent. Yeah, I think he's currently worth on that website. It was about 5 million per shares. So maybe about 8, 9, 10 million perhaps again. But that's your 20 million there. A bit of change to get someone else. Like I say, transfers I'm not the best with because, especially this market, it's ridiculous. And again, I'd love to see some foreign blood in, I guess. Mix it up a bit. We've got foreign manager, why not get some foreign players? So yeah, so we've discussed obviously now Keogh, we've discussed Louie Sibley, now Acosta. So a bit of news then today. Apparently Frank Lampard wants Shay Given at Chelsea to be part of his goalkeeping coach. Be his goalkeeping coach. Obviously, he brought him to Derby last season. I think he had the chance to go in the summer. I think Given said no. But Frank still wants him. Go. I'm not bothered. I've not seen that a vastly amount of improvement in the goalkeeping area with Shay Given as goalkeeping coach. In fact, I think I saw Scott Carson get worse last season. So if Chelsea want him, you can come and get him. I'd quite happily, get Eric Steele back, for instance. Talks a lot of sense, and we saw Scott Carson improve under him as well. Or even try and get Pascal Hubler, whatever his name was. Again, another coach that was top goalkeeping coach, and again improved Scott Carson. So if Shay Given, Frank Lampard wants Shay Given, I'd personally be happy to say, you can go on me. Because I don't know why, I don't know why Given didn't go in the summer. Perhaps he felt like, he wanted to show a bit of loyalty, perhaps, I don't know, or there was too much competition at Chelsea, and Petr Cech went back there and things like that, but I don't know. I'm really not sure. So, if I guess if Chelsea want him, they're gonna get him. Just name your price, Mel, and they'll have him. Simple as. Then I'd bring back Eric Steele if he's up for it. Because I think he's a top quality goalkeeping coach. And I think I've seen some people agree with me as well on social media, But in the same sort of, the same thing, I guess, would Chelsea be willing to offer us any players? They've got a lot of players, big squad. Are they willing to let anybody come to us? Who they might think would help improve the squad. But again, I know we said sort of we'd still have good. Mel Morris said we'd still have good ties with Chelsea. And we're still on good terms with them, etc. But has Cocu seen enough of Chelsea players that perhaps could make a difference? Chelsea youngsters that could perhaps make a difference. I doubt that. I genuinely doubt that. So we despite saying we'll be on good terms with Chelsea, they'd be quite happy to do us a favour, if we needed to with players and stuff. I don't think Cocker will go there because he doesn't know them that well. He's not going to know the Chelsea youth like he's going to know, for instance, perhaps the PSV youth. But it's going to be, again, going back to January, it's going to be an interesting window because from the looks and sounds of things, Cocu has full control over everything. And let's be honest, I've mentioned it before, but our scouting network is shocking. We've not really bought in any gems, if you like. we've always bought them players in that are the obvious choice, like your Waghorns. Like I said, like your Marriotts, your Waghorns. You know, Holmes perhaps could have been a bit of a gem, may still be a bit of a gem. You know, but like the likes of Mount, Wilson, Tamori, got nothing to do with our scouting network. That was Frank and Jody. So either we get new scouts or Koku says, oh, I don't want this player, I want that player. You know. And just going back to the under-23s as well, the style of play they were playing, it was possession-based football, playing out from the back. He's got influence on the whole of the club, essentially, with the way he wants to play. And that goes down to the under-15s up into the first team. And that's how he's always done it. That's how we did it at PSV. That's how he's going to do it at Derby. Why? Because he wants them players. I mean, you look at the under-15s. If he's here for the full 4 years, they're going to be 19. They're going to be looking at getting that squad, that first team squad. So they're going to know the way he wants to play. They're going to develop the way he wants, obviously, them to try and develop in them 4 years, 3 years, 4 years. This is what I'm saying about it's a project. It's a project about bringing our youth through. And that doesn't just mean the under-18s and under-23s. That means the 17s, 16s, 15s, all the way down. You know, so Mel's got a vision. He's got a long-term vision for this club. And I guess he can see, I suppose, you make money off young players. Jadon Sancho, for example. You know. Man City, he weren't going to get game there. Yet he's gone to Bayern Munich for millions. And you know, that's what Mel's trying to do. He's trying to find that gem in his own squad, because currently what happens is we end up buying a decent-ish player. For instance, Tom Ince, we end up buying him, decent player, we then sold him for a little tiny bit of profit. Same with Vidra, brought him in, decent thing. I think we made about 3-4 million profit on him, something daft like that. You know, what Mel Morris wants is to get someone from the academy and then shift them off for a big profit. You know, and that's part of me worries, you know, about doing that, with, especially with, you know, someone like Louie Sibley. You know, I think, you know, I'd like to see him in a Derby shirt, like Will Hughes, and we sold him for jack shit compared to what he's worth. Hendrick, another one. Eventually they're going to move, but if Derby can get in the Premier League in that time, Derby can. That's the thing. Derby get in the Premier League, if they can get youth players through, all of a sudden, the inflation on them youth players becomes up here. You know, so that's part of his vision that he's got, this dream that he's got. You know, again, he's looking for investment. That was another thing as well. He's looking for investment. It's close still, and then it got reported 2 days after. It's still close. You know, so no, we don't really know what's cracking on with that. There's obviously something in the pipeline. We're obviously close to a deal. So yeah, we just got to ride this one out. Hopefully, it's done for January. But the thing is, obviously, we've got to stick within FFP rules. So this investor that they bring in, he might have a load of cash, but it's the revenue that they've got to bring in with it. And if that means like a sponsorship deal or something like that, so it'd be interesting to see, you know, when the finances come out, not next season, but the season after, to see how we fare in the profit and loss margins with this obviously big sponsorship deal with 32 Red and Wayne Rooney. Be interesting to see. So yeah, anyway, I've veered off track as usual. So yeah, Shay Given, if he wants to go to Chelsea, I think we should just let him, you know. And that, again, that's not animosity or anything like that, you know. You know, it's a big Premier League club, you know, and let's be real. He spent most of his career in the Premier League, you know. Of course, he'd want to go back to the Premier League. You know, I don't blame him. But again, I think, you know, I don't think he's the greatest goalkeeping coach that we've had. You know, and I think if you get someone like Eric Steele in, I remember listening to him on Radio Derby. I can't remember who it was against now, but he was talking about Roos. and what he needs to do. You know, for me, I think Eric Steele's a sort of coach that would be able to teach him that and give him that confidence to come and claim a ball, get his decision making correct. You know, so because again, it's about playing out from the back as well. You know, he seems to be comfortable having the ball at his feet, but again, sometimes he needs his mind to work a bit quicker to work out where he's playing that ball. So yeah, I'd bring back Eric Steele. So yeah, finally then, Sheffield Wednesday have been under investigation from the AFL regarding the sale of their football ground to their owner. Now this obviously, I saw this and went, oh blooming heck. They weren't my words, but I'm keeping it as clean as I can. That worried me a bit. It was a bit concerning. However, the statement I read from the AFL, and it was a load of jargon, it didn't really make sense of what was cracking off. But reading it on the BBC Sport website, it was essentially what they'd done is sold the stadium but declared it a year before they'd actually sold it. So that's why they're getting investigated. So as long as Mel's not declared it a year before he's actually sold it himself, we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine with that. So that was just sort of, getting that on, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was just a bit brief there. I guess that's all it needed, I suppose. There wasn't much into that. So it's your guys' turn now, and it's the Q&A time. The Q&A, and I've got a few today. So, a couple of comments from Tyler Taft, who messaged me on Facebook. And he basically asked my opinions on VAR. Now, you know, he said maybe I should do a podcast on it, yeah. I don't think I couldn't talk enough about VAR to fill a podcast anyway, but this came about because I think it took like 3 days or something daft for McTominay's goal against, I think it was Brighton. VAR finally said, oh yeah, it's McTominay's goal. 3 days. VAR to me is ruining the game of football. Me personally, I don't want it in the Championship, so hopefully they don't, you know, because I know that obviously it's in the Premier League at the moment. I'm not reading too much into what's cracking off with it or anything like that, but it's slowly wrecking the game. We saw it against Southampton in the Cup last season. You have to wait, you know, pulling up Martin Waghorn for being that far offside. You know, a little toe offside. I saw it Sheffield United Tottenham the other day, toe offside. The decision is supposed to be a clear and obvious error. That wasn't a clear and obvious error. It's not as if his whole body or whatever, or he had half his body or whatever offside, like you see when, you know, you see linesmen make a decision. Because essentially VAR is now taking linesmen out of the game to make offside. They're supposed to wait to put the flag up. Okay. I don't want VAR in the Championship. I think it takes far too long. Two, they've got these screens at the side of the pitch which they're not using. You know, they're going to some guy sat fucking miles away. And going, and no one knows what the heck is going on. Not even on TV. You know, this is coming from a guy who watches rugby as well and sees TMOs and that all the time. And to me, the TMOs are getting involved too much now because refs want to get everything spot on. And it's the same in football at the moment. They're trying to get everything spot on, no mistakes, no errors, no nothing. To me, that adds to part of the game. I look at the incident the other day, Man City versus Liverpool. For me, Liverpool, just before Liverpool's first goal, ball comes flying across, hits Bernardo Silva, was it Gomez or Alexander-Arnold? It's a handball. The ref went no. That's fine, and Liverpool go and score. The big debate comes because why didn't he check it with VAR? If he'd gone to VAR, would he have changed his mind? Or I don't know. And then you get, maybe not. I spent about an hour talking about this with my mates on WhatsApp. And it ended the discussion by saying, do you know what? If VAR wasn't about, we wouldn't be having this discussion. Because at the end of the day, the ref either made the wrong call or the right call. It was a tough call to make. The ball hits the defender's arm, handball, but it also comes off Bernardo Silva. Did it hit his arm? Again, another decision to make. Is that handball? So, for me, it's not... I don't think it's improving the game. If a mistake happens, let a mistake happen. Goal line technology, fine. Because that determines if the ball crosses the line or doesn't cross the line. You know? VAR doesn't work. Offsides or no offside. You see it so many times. These lines, you can't determine when the ball was kicked. The angle of the line doesn't always seem to... Because of the camera angle and things like that, the lines don't always seem straight. Get rid of VAR. You know? And like I said, it's supposed to be for clear and obvious errors only. It's not being used for that. It's being used for tiny, tiny little errors. And it's wrong. It's taking the excitement and the entertainment out of football. You know, if a goal goes in, you want to celebrate that goal knowing that the ref's gone, points to the centre circle, goal. Not goal, look at the ref, wait, oh, he's gone to VAR. Wait for 3.5, 4 minutes. Well, that's a bit of exaggeration. Then go, goal, yay, and buzz in. It happened 5 minutes ago. It's gone. The excitement's gone. And, you know, it's almost now like every goal that goes in, you're sort of waiting to think, right, are they going to pull something up here? Because they check every goal. You know, they check, make sure everything's, you know, okay, I guess. You know, it's all legal. So, I generally don't think they should bring VAR into the Championship. But we saw it as well last season in the cups. Some games they had VAR, some games they didn't. How is that fair? How is that right? If you're going to have VAR, you have it at every game, or you don't have it at any games. You know, it's like last night in the England game. Oh yeah, there's no VAR in the qualifiers. Well, why? Because no doubt you're going to have them in the tournament. So what? It doesn't make sense. So you either have more of the time or you have them none at all. Just get rid of VAR. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of you that agree with me, and I'm sure there's plenty of you that disagree with me. We're all out our opinions. That's the whole point. But for me, bin it off. Get shot. You know, it's not needed at all. You know, if a ref makes a mistake, he makes a mistake. You know, we've lived with that for the past God knows how many seasons. You know, hundreds of years we've lived without VAR, and now all of a sudden we've got to bring it in. And it's for me, like one of my mates said, yeah, I know, but the offside rule was probably a bit. You know, they've not always had that, and they've brought it in, and they've adapted it, and now they've got it. Right, that's fine. Okay, I get that, but the offside rule is not delaying a game for 3-4 minutes while someone makes a decision. You know, if the referee gets a nod from the people upstairs and goes, right, I think that's handball, I think we should have a look. Let the referee make the decision. Let the referee go use them monitors on the side of the pitch, go look at it and make his own mind up, because he's the referee. He's been picked to be the official of that game. He's been picked to be in charge of that game. And that's the whole point. You see it in rugby. When you know when the ref goes to the TMO, right? I think this has happened. Can you confirm? It goes on the big screen, sees the video. They chat, and the ref goes. He'll go, I think it's a try. Yes or no. The guy in the video will go, yeah, he's done this, done that. Yeah, he's placed the ball down. Yeah, agree with your decision. Try, done. That's it. None of this, you know, not knowing what's going off. You know, not knowing what's being said to the ref or what the ref's saying. You know, if he went and made a decision on his own and looked at their monitors, then yeah, okay, fair enough. You could think, okay, well the ref's made that decision, but they're not doing that, and that's for me what they should be doing. You know, and the crowd have no idea what's going on neither. So, no, Tyler, I don't want it. I agree with you. I don't want it in the Championship at all, because as you put, it is shit. Yes. And then another sort of comment you've made to me as well, mate. Tom Lawrence withdraws from Wales squad due to illness. I don't know what the illness is. Could be a cold, but he's put. I basically put hopefully be recovered by Preston, and he's put hopefully, but could it be a bit of depression kicking in after the shit he got from the Forest game? Which I guess you bring up a good point. To be honest, he did get a lot of abuse. You know, Tom Lawrence should be in jail. So, but I can't comment on that, to be honest. You know, we know I suffer from, like I said, I made it clear, I suffer from mental health issues, anxiety and depression, and getting counselling for it. You know, so my mood was bad on Monday. Before I even went to work, I woke up in a foul mood, and then it just got worse during the day. And I wanted to go home, but I didn't. I ended up sitting in my corner of my office and crying when no one could see me. But but I feel better now. You know, I've had a counselling session today. I feel great. You know, I've had a great week. You know, my wife has been brilliant. You know, so yeah. I can't really comment because, you know, I don't think it's right for me to comment. You know, is it mental health issues with him, or is it, you know, just cold or something? But you know, we see all the time players withdraw from the squad for illness. But you know, I know where you're coming from, and I know it is a bit concerning. But hopefully, he's back fit for the Preston game because we need him. We really do need him. Right, so let's have a look. Questions then. This is how big my podcast is getting now, because I've even got Forest fans commenting on it. I'm massive. No, I'm only joking. I'm not. I'm down to earth. So on Twitter then, at Sabri Lamucci, why are you guys so shit at the City Ground? I replied back to him and said, tune in, mate, and I'll answer it. Because I will. Because, you know, anyone can ask me a question or comment. It's the whole part. That's the whole point of it. Again, from the fan for the fans. That means I like you guys getting involved. So why are we so shit at the City Ground? Are we shit at where we shit at the City Ground, as you put it? I don't think we were. Personally, I thought for the first half we probably had the better of it. Created a few chances, just didn't put the chances away. You know, we forced a couple of good saves from Samba in goal, and you guys forced a couple of good saves from Roos in goal. So I wouldn't say we were poor. I think the game was probably destined for a 0-0 draw had it not been for that mistake from Jaden Bogle. But again, you know, say the same for last season's game at the City Ground. Again, it was boring. It was a bit of a freaky goal in the second minute or whatever it was, and then you sat back for 88 minutes. So I wouldn't say we're poor or shit, as you put it, at the City Ground. I just think you're too scared to come and attack us, so you have to rely on a mistake, and that's what you've done the last two times. Same with your prior part, it was 0-0 last season. Defensive setup. You don't want to lose to us. And you know, I think that, and I get that it's a local derby. You know, we don't want to lose to Forest. Forest don't want to lose to Derby. You know, and I think the last few games have been, you know, very tight encounters, and Forest, unfortunately for Derby fans, have got the better of us. You know, I'll say it. I'm not bothered. Look, you know, I know there's a lot of like, you know, we hate Forest and all this, and they hate Derby and all this, but I love football. You know, and I look and watch games. You know, of course I want Derby to win every game they play. You know, I'm a fan. You know, but I'm not that sort of person that won't say, oh yeah, well, they were crap. You know, they're awful to Forest, because at the end of the day, Nottingham Forest, when we went to there, defended as a unit, and they looked very solid defensively. We found it hard to break them down. You know, they had bodies back, you know, in numbers, and then essentially, you know, they looked to counter attack, and that's the way they're set up. That's the way that Limucci's got them set up, and I think they could be in a good shout to be in the top 6. But to do that, I think they'll need to score more goals. because currently they've only really got Graben. That's this is talking to. I don't watch Forest, but this is talking to the guys I work with who are all Forest fans, and they're saying we are defensively sound, but attacking wise, we need more than just Graben. And it's true. I mean, I look at the likes of Thiago Silva. I say, someone, I think a second tier podcast, they put a thing of who's the best foreign player in the Championship. And as a Forest fan, they put Thiago Silva, and I went, not yet, but it has the potential to be a top player, and he does. Someone put, actually respect here for putting that to your rival. But again, that's just me enjoying football and appreciating a good player, because he is. He made Dwayne Holmes like Bambi on ice against us. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Limucci. Thank you for your question. If you can hear an alarm in the background, that's my... every time I do a YouTube in there, something goes off. Last time my box fell off. Now I've got my smart meter going off. Technology for you these days, isn't it? Right. So, next question then. Mark Andrew Coote on Facebook. Hello, Mark. As it's international break, a non-football question. Do you listen back to your podcast from various radio appearances, being self-critical and working to improve your shows? I know it's a daft question, but I noticed on your last Love Sports show, you seemed a lot more relaxed, confident, and sounded more like a professional pundit / radio personality. Well, thank you very much for that compliment, Mark. Yeah, I do. I listen back to every single one of my radio appearances, and I listen back to the majority of my podcasts. I've done it before where I've recorded a 45-minute podcast, didn't like it, so recorded it again. I look back now, I listen to like my first few, and I don't know how I got that many views on it, because I was quite and I do, like I say, I do enjoy doing this, and I wanted to sort of be, sound sort of professional, and I did a lot of there's, like I said, there's quite a few Derby County podcasts out there, but I wanted to I do enjoy doing this, and I do want to give the fans that watch on YouTube and listen on Spotify, iTunes, Google Cast, Pocket Cast. I do want to give them a good show. I want them to come back and I want them to listen. And obviously, I know you, Mark. You do listen a lot. You are a regular listener. I think you listen to everything I put on, so I really appreciate that. And it's different because when I'm on the radio, when I'm on either Radio Derby or when I'm on Love Sport Radio, I don't get paid for that. I don't get paid for this. This is just, that they asked me to come on the show, and I did it. Same with Love Sport Radio. Again, they asked me to come on a show every week. And when I first went on there, I was just like, I was nervous as anything. But it's different when you've got someone asking you questions and you've just got to provide an answer, essentially, or give your thoughts. Doing this, I've got to try and keep the listener focused, if you like, because obviously it's just me. When you listen to the radio, you can bounce off. There's only 2 or 3 people there. They bounce off each other, etc. Things like that. But I love doing this, and if there was a way I could get paid to do this, then yes, I would definitely do it. And I'd love to sound professional and do a professional job. I've had no training in it or anything like that. I literally record this. At the moment I've got 2 phones set up. I've got one recording my YouTube video, and I've got one recording my podcast. I'd love to get a professional setup and things like that. But yeah, I am quite self-critical. If I don't like something, I'll edit it out, or I'll not put it up. But yeah, no, I do really appreciate your kind words there, Mark. That's very nice. It's very kind of you. Thank you very much. So next then is W Mackenzie 71. Question: what's your top 3 Derby shirts, home and away? Will. What a question. Top 3 Derby shirts, home and away. Well, my favourite away one. Do you want the top 3 home and top 3 away, or just top 3 out of both? Because that's a tough one. If it's the away one, I'll go with the I don't know if you remember, like, the burgundy shirt, where we had the burgundy shirt, the burgundy shorts, and the white and burgundy stripy socks. That's one of my favourites. That's up there, top 3. Then there's the yellow auto windscreens top that had, like, the red and blue like triangles on the sleeves. That's number 2. My favourite one though was the auto windscreens. It was the kit. If you the blue kit we've got now, it was either the third kit or it was the second kit to that, but it was dark blue and it had light blue and white pinstripes across it, auto windscreens on it. That for me has to be my number 1 away shirt. I was gutted because I never had that shirt. My dad had that one, and I was jealous of my dad wearing that one. But yeah, that has got to be my 3 favourite away shirts. Home shirt wise, oh, you're asking now, aren't you? That's a tough one. That is a tough question. Number 1 for me, it will always be the Puma kit, the one we had when we were in the Premier League. Again, I think that just defined us as a club. You know, that whole shirt. I like the bagginess of it. You know, I like the colour. You know, the one. You know, that for me is number 1. Other home shirts though. The one that Scott, the club was selling for about 40 quid last season, it always reminds me of Dean Saunders. It's the one. It's the white one with, like, white sort of triangles on it, and then it's got the little bit of black and red thing on the sleeve. That's number 2. And then this year's kit. I love this year's shirt, to be honest. If I'm honest with you, I absolutely love this shirt. So they're my 3 favourite home shirts. As you can see, I prefer away shirts to home shirts. I don't know why. I just always have done. Well, actually saying that, when growing up I always used to have goalkeeper shirts, but my favourite one of them was the dark green one with it was a polo neck. That was my favourite one. Always used to wear it. I used to literally wear it, get it mucky, go in the wash, I'd pull it out of the washer and it would go back on me again. Favourite shirt of all time, that is. So yeah, good question, Will. There's this question here, bounce into another, there we go. Right, so this one's from Kieran Parker on Facebook. If you have 3 players and get rid of 3 from 2014 season and this season, which 3 players would you switch? So what you're saying is, if I had 3 players from this season and 3 players out of 2014 season, which one I switch? Well, that's easy. So the 2014 season into this team, Will Hughes would be in there, number 1, definitely. Jeff Hendrick would be in there, definitely. And tough one now, mate. Tough. You've got to dumb me here. And Craig Bryson. I think that midfield 3 we had there. In fact, no, I can't do it. No, it would have to be George Thorne, Will Hughes, and Craig Bryson. For me, that was our best 3 midfield. So I'd love to have them in this team right now. And then to put back from this team into that one, I think I'd have Jayden Bogle at right back. I'd have... Ooh. I don't think that. That's a tough question, mate. That is a proper tough question. That's definitely Jayden Bogle in there. I would like to have seen Curtis Davis in there as well. And you know, so if we're looking here, actually, I've gone midfielders in the old one. I've gone defence in this one. And then finally, I think I'd like to see Jack Marriott as well in that team somewhere. You know, because I think we lacked a bit of a plan B, I guess, I suppose, in 2013-14, you know. Imagine Jack Marriott instead of Connor Salmon. You know, feed the fish and all that, but I think Jack Marriott might have got us a few more goals. But hey, no, good question, mate. You had me rattling my brains there. So finally, these two come together as like a question and a comment. So Martin Teague, I think it is. I think I said your name right there, Martin. With January around the corner, would you review the loans as Dow, Patterson, Hamer, and promote some of the under-23s to the senior squad? I know what I would do. And then he's had a reply to that from Daniel Naylor. If they're not getting regular appearances, then what's the point for both clubs? Exactly that. Now, I would seriously consider. We brought Dowell in to replace Mason Mount, and what's he doing? He's playing for the under-23s. He's not. He clearly can't hold down a first-team spot. Send him back. Patterson, I think I'd keep here at the moment, because I think he has got something to offer. I think he would suit that role, sort of where Holmes is. The one of the two central midfielders in the diamond, if you like. I think he could suit that role, but as an impact sub. But again, you've got Sibley that can play there, I suppose. And then Hamer, I've already said what I'd do with that. I'd send Hamer back and bring in Joe Hart. So yeah, but no, this is part of the reason, though, I guess, why we loaned players in rather than brought permanently, because obviously we saw what it was when Mel's seeing talent, or the manager, like if you like Keogh seeing talent, or the coaches and things. If they're seeing a talent that could go, he could play first team next season after. We're not going to waste money buying players permanently. So that's why I brought the loans in. Let's be real. I know we spent a lot on Christian Bielik, but have we got anybody that can fill that central defensive midfielder role? Max Bird, I guess, is there, but he doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence at the moment. So I feel that's why we brought Bielik in permanently, which I know it could potentially block a pathway for Bielik, but we've only really got one. I know they can say Evans can play there, but again, I don't think he's strong enough there. So for me, we've only really got Max Bird that could possibly play there. Again, I think Evans is better as a centre back. Or again, could you play him as a 2? Again, so I don't know. I've gone off my track of thought now, but so we brought in loans. Dow, creative midfielder, central midfielder. Again, we've got likes of Jason Knight, Louie Sibley, that could all play that role. And Hamer, again, we loaned him in. We've got Johnny Mitchell, Josh Barnes, another goalkeeper. So the goalkeeping thing, it's a weird one. Obviously, we let Carson go. We didn't see him anything pre-season. He's obviously on a lot of money per year, so that's probably part of the reason we let him go. So I do think I can see another a permanent keeper coming in like January or maybe in the summer. Sorry, excuse me. But like I said, I would love to get Joe Hart in. Again, I think wages may be an issue to get him in, but bring him in for me. I generally think he could make a difference. And again, it's nothing against Roos. I'm a big advocate of Roos, and I do like him. He's only young. He is 27. A lot of you go, well, that's old for a goalkeeper. No, it's not. 27 is still young for a goalkeeper. They're not in their prime until they're in their 30s, essentially. It's weird. Most players are in their prime, 27, 28, 29, that sort of age. But yeah, goalkeepers, we saw it with Scott Carson. He got better as he got older. So, but yeah, that's all your questions. I hope I've answered them well enough for you guys. That is also my show. Again, it's one of them where you go to the international break and, it's normally when you get like the the news and everything of stuff in and around the club. But I think we've had a lot to talk about. It's been going an hour, so we've had a lot to talk about. I hope I've not bored you. I hope you enjoyed listening. Would really appreciate if you liked, comment, shared. But yeah, guys, you guys. Oh, I hit 5,000 views. 5,000 listens to my podcast on Spotify, Anchor, iTunes, etc. All that. Thank you so much for all you guys that tune in every week, or every episode. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. But I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go have some dinner, I think, because I'm hungry. I don't know what I'm going to have yet, but hopefully it's something nice. I'll have a little something freezer, I think. But yeah, no. Anyway, guys, I'll do another podcast, no doubt, before the Preston game. I'm on Love Sport Radio every Monday night from 10:30 till 11. You can catch it on iTunes, on Spotify. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I shall see you next time. And as always, come on, Derby!